Hey there Patriots, hope you're doing well, and today I'll be going over some dinosaur games that will be coming out in the near future that I am personally anticipating. At the end of the list, I'll also list off some dinosaur games that are also out now that I recommend you play as well. Also, most of the games I list in this video do not have a set release date unfortunately, and of course I will be adding the release date to any of the games listed that do obviously. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at the upcoming dinosaur games that I am looking forward to personally. Now, I might as well get it out of the way, but an obvious big title coming out in the near future is, of course, Ark 2. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen the most recent controversy between the Ark devs and Ark itself, but long story short, they'll be re-releasing a Ark remaster in which they'll be shutting down official servers and ending any and all further updates to the original game, and you will have to pay full price for it. I personally haven't played Ark in a long time, and honestly, I don't plan to play it anytime in the near future. So if you're one of those few people that like to play on official servers, you will unfortunately have to move to the new game, and I'm sure non-official servers will be merging to Ark Remaster for updating mods and stuff. So if that bothers you and deters you from wanting to get Ark 2, I totally understand. But what's interesting to me about Ark 2 is how drastically different it's going to be from the original. Instead of going the survival game route like the original, it's going for a Souls-like style by adding Souls-like combat and level design to it. Again, very weird. But hey, if they pull it off and it ends up being better than what perhaps we're expecting, I'm all for it. Second on the list is a game called Goner. Goner is going to be a story-driven game with the premise of exploring this lost land in order to find your mother who's gone missing. In this lost world, you'll be solving puzzles, surviving by being hunted by dinosaurs, encountering lost tribes, and using your wits to survive. The game reminds me a lot of The Forest, but with dinosaurs. I know that the developer intended to add a co-op mode to the game if the game got a certain amount of funding from its Kickstarter, but I'm not sure if the game ended up getting that funding to add co-op to it. Either way though, I really hope the developer ends up adding co-op anyway, just simply because games like this are always just better with friends. Even if not, I'll still be checking this game out whenever it comes out anyway. Another game on the list is called Compound Fracture. This game I'm particularly interested in because of the setting and the graphic style. You can definitely tell this game's art style is inspired by the original Dino Crisis with a dark horror element to the game, but with adding their own twist by making it a first-person shooter. This game will also have those Resident Evil-like puzzles in the game, and will also be hiding dinosaurs in those dark corners to keep you on your toes. The game's premise is set in the future where time travel exists, but made illegal however. The description says, it's 1996, and the sky over New Manitoba City is choked with pollution. An anonymous whistleblower contacted OSEA, claiming that the chronogas had violated the federal laws banning the use of time travel. A health and safety enforcer was dispatched to investigate the claims, but found that the situation was more urgent than anyone could have predicted. He was forced to act decisively, take on the role of the enforcer as he cuts a path through a hostile world, set right something that never should have happened. Humans were never meant to walk here. In the forests of an untouched planet, there is a lone installation. Dimly lit bunkers and offices lay empty, while distant cliffside structures cast shadows on the waves below. Heavy footsteps echo through abandoned hallways. It's not their world, not ours. Perfectly adapted for the prehistoric environment. The cunning Utah raptor is no less confident within concrete walls. Ambushed predators blend in among the human detritus, and the ubiquitous compy might be the only creature beneath you in the food chain. Survival is taxing. Mistakes have lasting effects. Leaving a trail of blood is certain to attract a predator, but a broken leg will guarantee you don't escape. Not every fight is worth taking. Nothing is guaranteed. Outfit yourself with scavenged weapons and equipment. The compound once stockpiled ample supplies, but what remains will be hard to find and dangerous to acquire. Act under your own discretion. Piece together information from scattered maps and documents to plan the best course of action, or rely on instinct and reflex alone to find your way. Put your life on the line. Test your skills in Enforcer mode. replay the story in a warped timeline that will subvert your expectations and challenge your resolve. The game does not have a current release date yet, but I could see a 2023 or a 2024 release date. Fifth on the list is a survival horror game called Deathground. Deathground is a solo and co-op survival horror game that throws players into a desperate battle for survival against deadly AI dinosaurs. Enter the Deathground with a team of up to 3 players for squad-based action or attempt to survive alone in a solo mission. As players, you form a group of professional hunters and survivalists on a mission to the Deathground to retrieve high-value loot. With team-based objectives, suspenseful gameplay, and constant mortal danger, teamwork and cooperation are essential to survival. Dynamic gameplay enriched with objectives, stealth, combat, and teamwork. Players will interact with a range of items and weapons and have access to a crafting system. Dynamic and reactive dinosaurs that hunt you down, influence decision-making, and drive a tailored experience. A character class system with special traits, skills, and tools mean players must choose how they will work together in order to survive. Experience true fear in an anxious atmosphere that puts player survival instincts to the test. We'll harness the power of Unreal Engine 4 to create realistic and diverse environments. AI dinosaurs, weather systems, random spawn extract points, and dynamic objectives create unique and intense gameplay sequences with each playthrough. I gotta say, I'm really interested in this game, and the very dark horror element to this game is what really makes me excited for this game. This is definitely a game that I'll be featuring on the channel with my friend whenever it comes out. The game doesn't currently have a release date, but I can see a 2024 or a 2025 release date. This next one on the list is one I'm somewhat skeptical of. I think at worst, this game will end up being mediocre and forgettable, and at best, this could be a fun and interesting game to say the least. Immerse yourself in the world of Dinos Reborn and feel like a dinosaur hunter. Danger awaits you at every turn. Think fast and don't hesitate, because every second lost can turn you from hunter to prey. Dinos Reborn is an open world game with a sci-fi atmosphere. Try to survive on this dangerous planet overrun by dinosaurs. Modify your arsenal. Choose from silencers, grips, scopes, and other accessories. Create the perfect weapon and go out on the hunt. Explore a world of danger and monumental sights. Don't be fooled by the beauty of your surroundings. Death awaits you at every turn. A dozen species of dinosaurs, in the sky and on the ground, each with its own unique survival instincts. Analyze their tracks, observe their habits, look for weaknesses, and find the best moment to attack. Keep an eye out for random airdrops of supplies. The contents of these mysterious packages will help you in your fight for survival on this dangerous planet. In this world, both flora and fauna pose a deadly threat to humans. Here you must think through every move you make. The rules are simple. Kill or be killed. This is another one of those games where I feel like a solo mode really wouldn't bring much vibe with the game much, but add a co-op mode where me and my friends can just build a base and go out and hunt dinosaurs, and that sounds like a hell of a good time to me. This game actually does have a release date set to 2025, however I remain somewhat skeptical because anything could happen that can cause this game to delay. Seventh on the list is a game that's almost right up my alley. Jurassic Architect is a strategy game set in the not so distant future from which humanity, thanks to the achievement of technology, escapes from a polluted world into the age of dinosaurs in order to be able to create a new civilization. The Earth has been deteriorating more and more for many years. The development of civilization has depleted most of the Earth, and the sky no longer lets in as much sun as it used to. The only solution was to combine the forces of the world's greatest powers and the construction of a portal that would allow humanity to once again move to the times of natural fertility. Ultimately, not everyone can get there. First of all, it will be necessary to send appropriate groups of people who will build and secure the settlement in order to be able to attract more people to it over time. When creating our settlement, we must remember to provide it with all the necessary resources. The areas from this era provide not only various rock deposits, but also ideal conditions for renewable energy sources or soil for numerous crops. It is only up to you what kind of people you want to create a new civilization from. Qualified scientists, soldiers, mechanics, farmers. There is a job for everyone if you provide them with a roof over their heads. This era provides plenty of essential resources, but the presence of dinosaurs is not always positive. Some of them can be harnessed to work in mining, others can be ridden or placed in areas to the delight of the inhabitants, but you have to defend yourself against others, constantly strengthening the fortifications of your settlement. Lead a group of colonizers and create a new civilization in the age of dinosaurs. The fate of mankind depends only on you. I'm sure a lot of you are like me, where you're just exhausted of park builders, but this game does it a little differently since it's more like a city skylines but with dinosaurs. The premise of the game really reminds me of that TV show called Terra Nova. I don't know how many of you watch that show, but it's a shame it never got a season 2. Jurassic Architect does not have a release date, but I can see more than likely a 2025 release date. I'd be surprised if it will release this year or even the next year. Now, this game I'm also very skeptical about, and that's for two reasons. One, this game is being made by Capcom, and Capcom, just like Bandai, either release good games or stinkers. And two, I just don't know if this game is going to have a terrible online service. Capcom said this game is going to have a battle pass, and that left a bad taste in my mouth. In case you haven't seen it, I made a video specifically talking about whether or not live service games are bad, and my overall consensus was that single player and or co-op games need to stop being treated as a live service where they add these battle passes and all the bells and whistles that they like to add to these games. I really hope they either discard that idea or just make it completely optional and not replace any progression that the game may have. However though, if it does end up being a decent game, it could be fun since Exo Primal is going to basically be Earth Defense Force but with dinosaurs. This game is currently set to be released this July, so I hope this game does not release broken and unplayable, but time will only tell. Now this game, I'm just honestly skeptical if this game is just going to be coming out or not, but I'm putting it here anyway just because I want to give it some exposure. And it could be a fun game if it does end up coming out, and this game is called Primal Dominion Aftermath. Survive the harsh wilderness of Isla de Barro, deploy as fire teams, or hunt as dinosaurs and unleash carnage on the wasteland of an abandoned park. Built by a small indie team, Primal Dominion is a multiplayer action adventure game with dinosaurs, gritty gameplay, horror, and a variety of ways to play. Set in the late 90s in a once cutting-edge theme park, all has gone wrong as three factions fight for survival, instinct, and monetary gain. Take control of a park ranger, mercenary, or ferocious dinosaur as you battle among various locations on Isla de Barro, including industrious labs, remote bases, rural fields, tropical unforgiving forests, and a once thriving populated theme park. Feel your weapons. Each of our weapons are hand-tailored to emulate weight, movement, sway, and recoil, offering you a different experience with each variation. Dive into an ever-expanding inventory of firearms to combat all the dangers that you will experience on your journey through Isla de Barro. Our reactive economy is purely based on the players, with each season, rarity, and quantity being determined purely by player demand. Customize each of your factions for your preferred game mode and experience. Each dinosaur, ranger, and mercenary will have a broad set of abilities and items you can equip to diversify your missions. In-game performance counts. Some unique classes require in-game performance goals to be reached before they can be selected. Pretty much all the games listed in this video are single-player games. This game, however, has me very interested simply because we don't have any up-to-date PvP dinosaur games. The only one I can think of that's a PvP humans versus dinosaurs games is Primal Carnage, but that game is somewhat older and has a relatively smaller community, so I would really love an up-to-date humans versus dinos game. Coming up next is a game I'm really excited for. It's called The Lost Wild. The Lost Wild is a survival horror adventure about overcoming nature's most formidable life forms. Explore overgrown research facilities nestled in a lush wilderness. Be resourceful, intimidate, evade, and unravel the mystery at the heart of the island. The Lost Wild is an immersive and cinematic dinosaur game that captures the reverence and terror of nature's most magnificent beast. Come face to face with dinosaurs that behave like wild animals, not monsters. Explore a prehistoric wilderness where you're squarely in the center of the food chain. Keep your head down, stay alert, and evade. If all else fails, run, or try to intimidate using non-lethal weaponry, resulting in intense cat-and-mouse style gameplay. Discover abandoned facilities nestled in a lush wilderness teeming with prehistoric life. Scavenge and acquire useful items to improve your chances of survival, but become subjective to ever-changing dangers the deeper you explore. Unravel the mystery at the heart of the island. Move stealthily and elude predators hunting you down. Create distractions and use your environment to your advantage. Make use of the items you've discovered to give yourself options in each encounter. Outmaneuver, distract, run, and if all else fails, hide. Hold your ground and don't let them sense your fear. Temporarily scare off deadly predators using a combination of fire and non-lethal weaponry. Dinosaurs in the Lost Wild are curious and adaptive by nature, but may retreat when startled or intimidated. Carefully observe their behavior and you may just find a way to overcome them. You are stranded in a violent primal world. Your survival depends on mastering its rhythms and anticipating its dangers. A mysterious voice on the radio seems to offer a glimmer of hope. With their help, make your way through the facilities and piece together the story of how this came to be. The game originally had a release date of 2024, but they changed it a while back ago, where now says it's just coming out soon. So I'm guessing they're delaying the game and not giving a specific release date because there's probably a lot left to do. Either way, I'm pretty excited and I can't wait to see what these guys do. These last two games I'm going to list are the best dinosaur games coming out that I think will be. The first to last one is called Instinction. Experience a cinematic story based on action-adventure with combat, exploration, and puzzles, where the environments can be as treacherous and beautiful as the creatures you encounter. Environmental puzzles will have you completing quests and searching for ancient artifacts left by an unknown civilization since long gone. Or so it seems, while navigating stunning locations and embark on an unforgettable journey. Key features to this game are going to be layer narrative. Discover the intense explorative story of April Summers, a driven and formidable adventurer deeply affected by personal demons and fears. Survive and explore. Play face to face against a variety of ravenous, prehistoric, and extinct creatures. Traverse, discover, solve puzzles, and complete quests filled with deadly obstacles. Stunning locations. Conquer beautifully crafted interactive environments filled with ancient ruins, caves, lore, forests, grassy plains, and underwater exploration. Take control. Switch between third and first person on the fly with a customizable HUD, weapons and skins, special items, and collectibles. The Steam page says it's coming out soon, but I actually have the devs update via email, and in one devlog they said this game will be ready by 2025. So I'm really hoping that's a release date they can stick to. I'd really be sad if this game ended up being delayed, so I can't wait for it. And finally, last on the list is a game called Project Ferocious. Project Ferocious is a survival shooter in which you will discover a lost prehistoric world full of deadly creatures under the control of hostile forces. Fight, explore, survive. Tales from sea monsters and missing sailors surround a thick, mysterious fog on the Pacific Ocean. The distress call from a group of missing investigative journalists leads you right into the middle of it, where you find a tropical island where no island should be. Hostile forces want to keep the island a secret at all costs to uncover the truth and find your friends. You will not only have to survive them, but also the fierce inhabitants of this lost world. Explore, survive, fight. In Project Ferocious, you are all alone on a deadly island occupied by hostile forces. Equipped with a camera, you are trying to uncover the truth while using a wide arsenal of weapons and tools to survive. Explore the island by rappelling steep cliffs, discovering underwater caves, and trying to hide from the terrifying creatures inhabiting this lost world. I've been following the dev team over on Twitter on this game, and I'm more than impressed about what they've done with this game already. And mind you, this whole game is being made in Unity, which looks more like a UE5 game. This whole dev team is extremely talented, and I cannot wait to see the end of this product. The game has no release date, and honestly, I hope they take their time making this game. Even if the game ends up coming out 10 years from now, as long as the game gets finished and they make this everything they envisioned, this could possibly be the best dinosaur game we have yet to see. Now, since we finished our list of best upcoming dinosaur games, I'll quickly list off some dinosaur games that are out now that I think you should check out. First on my list are the two Turok games currently out on Steam. The original Turok and Turok 2 Seeds of Evil are playable on Steam via being remastered by Night Dive Studios, and I highly recommend you go play them. Second is a multiplayer survival sim where you get to play as the dinosaurs in a game called The Isle. Unfortunately, this game is going through a massive redo and updates are incredibly slow at the moment, and performance-wise is absolutely terrible. Now, if you play the legacy version, it's much more stable and has more dinosaurs to choose from. I recommend you play that way for your first time playing, but either way, The Isle is always fun to play from time to time. Now, lastly, this isn't a game that I've played yet, but I'm going to be making a playthrough of it here on the channel, and that game is called Dino Trauma. Dino Trauma is a project made by two people in which it introduces you to a secret laboratory somewhere in Eastern Europe where gore and dinosaurs isn't unusual. a retro FPS inspired by the legends of the 90s. So let me know what you guys think, and let me know what dinosaur games you're excited for. If you guys are interested in maybe more videos like this in the future and are interested in seeing what I have in store for the near future content, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell button to get notified when I make videos and make any community related content. And make sure to like too if you enjoyed. It greatly helps me out in the YouTube algorithm, and I shall see you when the next video drops.